we actually start studying chemistry from atom, and the structure of atom is the most important part of chemistry. In 1913, Niels Bohr proposed his atomic model and explained how electrons orbit around the nucleus. According to his model, the negatively charged electrons orbit a small positively charged nucleus, similar to the planets orbiting the Sun. The main points of the Bohr models are: number 1, electrons orbit the nucleus in a circular path of a specific size and energy. Number 2, the energy of the orbit is related to its size. The lowest energy is found in the smallest orbit. And number 3, energy is released or absorbed when an electron jumps from one orbit to another. Now I am going to explain the Bohr atomic model. First of all, I am going to talk about the circular path. Bohr proposed the electrons orbit around nucleus through a circular path like solar system. Here I have shown a part of a solar system. The dense nucleus in the atom is compared to the Sun in the solar system, while the electron shells are compared to the orbit in which the planets are revolving. The nucleus may be a single proton nucleus like hydrogen, or the combination of multiple protons and neutrons. Since neutron in the nucleus is chargeless, the charge of the nucleus is protonic charge, that is positive. However, as Bohr model mentioned, the electrons revolve the nucleus through the circular path is not actually correct. Electron doesn't revolve in circular path in atom. Bohr model proposed the size of the path or orbit of electrons and the energy in that particular orbit. The quantity of energy in a particular orbit is specified, and it is proportional to the size of the circular path or orbit. In order to realize the size of the orbit, I have made 3-dimensional round object using the same diameter of a specific orbit. You can see here a smaller diameter of the orbit makes a smaller object, and bigger diameter of the orbit makes bigger object. And if we compare the size of the object with energy content, then we can clearly see the bigger object has higher energy. We can see here more clearly how the quantity of energy is proportionally increased with the size of the shell or path or orbit. The energy content is lower in the smaller orbit and higher in the bigger orbit. Another important feature of the Bohr atomic model is the jumping of electron from one orbit to another. When an electron in higher energy orbit releases some energy, it jumps to the next lower energetic shell or orbit to stabilize the atom. I have explained this phenomena with the potential energy of an object, that is mgh. Here the m is the mass of the object, g is the gravitational acceleration, and h is the height of the object. We know the potential energy depends on the height of the object. Here, when the object is falling from the height h3 to height h2, which is shorter than h3, the object released some energy, that is delta E. If you look at the left side, exactly the same thing happened in the atom. Electron released some energy and jumped to the next lower level, that is n2 orbit. Exactly the opposite will occur when the object and electron gain some energy from external source. The object will be pulled up by that external energy to the higher level, and at the same time the electron will jump to the higher level by that absorbed energy. I repeat the same phenomena a couple of times to clearly understand. This was all about the Bohr atomic model. However, as we saw, electron doesn't orbit in circular path. That is why the Bohr model is modified later. I will make a video lecture on the modification of the Bohr atomic model.